getting what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
This is the Check a Pro Radio Show. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Jim Klauck.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I love talking to you each and every week here on the radio. I've been doing this for over 20 years. My name is Jim Klauck. They call me Check a Pro Joe. I started my company in 2005 to help you, my local friends, neighbors, my community, you, the homeowner, by pre-qualifying home service professionals. On today's program, I'll be introducing one very shortly. You've heard him here before. His name is Brian from Suncoast Power Solutions. Today, we're going to be talking about generators. We've talked about it before, standby generators. Oh, by the way, Brian's going to be giving away 10 mini portable generators, so you may want to stay tuned for that. And there is no obligation to buy anything. The only thing Brian's going to ask is that, well, he and his team come out and take a look at your property to see if a whole home standby generator would be good for you. And if you don't have one, I'm telling you, here in our area, in the greater Tampa area, the Gulf is getting warmer. It is storm season. The big ones are the hurricanes, also other tropical disturbances. So now would be the time to consider getting your own generator. We'll be talking about Generac, Kohler, Cummins. We'll be talking about all the different reasons. It's not just storm season. There are so many reasons why you not may need one, but do need one. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about your builder. If you're building a house, you should be talking to your builder about having one put in. If you are a builder, well, you really need to get to know my expert guest, Brian from Suncoast Power Solutions, because he can make that new home build a more attractive one for your clients. Without further ado, my good friend Brian from Suncoast Power Solutions. Brian, how you doing today?
Doing well, Jim. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show. You've been on the program before. We're going to mix things up a little bit. We're going to talk about a number of different things. But the primary things I want to talk about today, the primary thing is, of course, hurricane season. When we think of hurricanes in our country, in the United States of America, Tampa is one of the targets. Now, there's New Orleans, Galveston a little bit, other parts of Florida, and the Carolinas a bit, coast of Georgia. Sometimes it goes all the way up to New York. But really, we get battered here. I mean, like battered. Big ones have hit Florida in the past 50 years. So many people will talk about it. And I think it's actually getting worse because we've got more property to be damaged, don't we?
Yes, 100%, Jim. And, we were briefly talking before the show and just everyone out at the beaches. I was out there at the beaches as well. And there was a ton of people in the water. And some people were just, some of my friends saying, oh my gosh, it's hot. This is too hot. I'd rather go in the pool because these Gulf waters are hot right now. I think they're 90, 91 degrees, which is for the beginning parts of storm season. That's a pretty warm temperature. So, I'm no Nostradamus, but if I was a betting man, I'd say we may have an active season this year.
It's a great indication. Without warm Gulf waters, we don't have bad hurricanes. I mean, that is the major ingredient. So if the waters are cool, which they really haven't been in years, I don't remember anyone saying, oh my gosh, here we are in July and the waters are like 70 degrees. They're never that cool. So especially in the summertime, right? It's just, it's too much.
Well, we're in drought here too, Jim, which I think is kind of adding to that. We don't have any rainwater to cool those Gulf temperatures down. So you kind of, the perfect storm is upon us here. So, we hope for the best, but plan for the worst, right?
Yeah, and that's why it's so important for everyone listening to continue to listen and to understand why you should have a standby generator. And a standby generator is simply that. This is a generator that generates power for your home and it's standing by. It is designed to be there. It's kind of like Secret Service, right? Kind of there. You don't really know it until something breaks out, and then all of a sudden, Secret Service jumps on it. That's what your standby generator does. It automatically starts up. It uses propane or natural gas. Those are the two primary sources of fuel. So depending upon what you have, Brian can help you out. And today, he is giving away a portable generator. This is a mini generator, and it's great because between now and the time you get your whole home generator, your full standby generator, you can use the mini generator, and it's got a solar panel on it. You can charge your devices if the power goes out. It has lights built in, AM, FM radio with the weather band. So if we do get the storm, you'll be able to tune into a radio station or the National Weather Service to see what's going on. And it's totally portable. What I love about this item is you're giving it away absolutely free, Brian, today to 10 of my listeners, of our listeners. Then if they decide to get a generator for their whole home, they can retire the mini one to their boat, their car, their RV, or give it to their neighbor or friend, can't they?
Exactly. So the mindset here is permitting. Everything we do has to be done legally, and it's permitted by your local municipality. And sometimes that does get a little lengthy, which is why we need to stress. Don't wait. If you want a generator, start thinking about it now. You really, in all honesty, should have started thinking about it months ago. But we're in storm season now, so the sooner the better. And while we're in that permitting phase, here's a little gift from us to you to kind of get you by if something does happen in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm going to give out Brian's number in a moment from Suncoast Power Solutions. When I do, then please dial, and you will be calling a customer service representative. They're very, very, very professional, and they will ask you some questions. They will set up an appointment for Brian and his team to come out. A site engineer will be part of that team to come out, do a free site inspection. So there's no obligation, no credit cards, no checkbooks, no cash, no nothing. I mean, there is no cost to this, and they will leave behind after they come out the mini portable generator. Here is a number. Call now. Only 10 people, please. 813-437-9616. If you didn't get the number, I will be repeating it throughout the program. Again, 813-437-9616. Jerry, my producer, actually monitors these phone calls. They come through a system where we actually know who's calling and how many are left. So we'll be able to keep you posted. If you're driving right now, do not dial and drive. Now, if you can talk to your phone while you're driving, that's okay. 813-437-9616 is the number. But if not, then pull over when you have a chance. It's early on in the show now. These will all go by the end of the program. So you need to call today and as soon as possible. Before we get into anything else, I see a note here. 0% financing for 18 months. So a lot of people are like, wait a second, I don't really want another big expense. I just bought a new car and a boat. That's a lot. But this isn't as expensive as that generally, is it?
No, on average, we're about $179 to $200 a month, depending on the unit size, of course. And now with that 18 months, same as cash, that's a kind of a no-brainer. Let's get it in there and let's get it in quick.
A 0% financing for 18 months, as little as $179. Generac, Kohler, Cummins, you've heard of these brands. Call now, 813-437-9616. Get your free mini portable generator. Get your free site inspection. Get 0% financing. Now, if you don't want the financing, you can write a check. That's not a problem because Suncoast Power Solutions will take that. But I always say if it's 0% financing, why not use the bank's money? I do it all the time. 813-437-9616. Hey, a question has come in from Carol via email. Joe@checkapro.com is my email, by the way. Best way to reach me with questions. Joe, Joe, at checkapro.com. Carol in Lutz says, Brian, we lost power for 4 days after the last hurricane came through, and we had no way to keep our refrigerator running or charge my husband's medical equipment. We've been talking about getting a standby generator ever since. Where do we even start? What size would we need for a 2,200 square foot home here in Lutz?
So it really depends on the electrical requirements. Obviously, it sounds like there's some medical devices in there that need power. I can tell you for that size home, an average unit is anywhere between, say, 20 kW to 26 kW. Now, if you have gas appliances, that helps reduce your electrical load. If you have multiple air conditioners, that will require a larger generator if you wanted to use both of those simultaneously. The large energy consuming devices are the electric water heaters, electric ovens, electric clothes dryers, air conditioners, pool pumps. If you need all of those, typically you're in a larger size generator, but we can always work in some load management as well and get that generator down to a better price point to just run the necessities if need be.
It's just not that expensive compared to what you get. You can look at it as an insurance policy to make sure that you have the power that you need to run medical equipment, to have cool air in your home, for goodness sakes, to have refrigerated food. It's an investment in your property. We talked a little bit about having it installed when you have your house built. I mean, you would never have a home built without plumbing, electrical, HVAC, right? Well, I just mentioned a bunch of that stuff that needs to be run by electricity. So I said electrical. Well, yeah, you'd have that. What happens when the power goes out? Air conditioning, you'd put that in your HVAC system. But what happens when the power goes out? You need to generate your own power. Very efficient today, not very expensive, and it really is something that is becoming more and more popular, and I think it's really needed. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more of your questions, and we'll be giving away more of these mini portable generators from Suncoast Power Solutions right here on the Check a Pro Radio Show. We'll be right back. Stand by.
Dennis Prager here. Just go to checkapro.com. You'll find names, phone numbers, affiliations, and license numbers, everything you need to feel confident about hiring a contractor and getting your project done right. Checkapro.com.
Jim Klauck, a.k.a. Check a Pro Joe here. Hey, Tampa, when your power goes out, everything stops. Your lights, your AC, your refrigerator, your security. And here in Florida, it's not if the power goes out, it's when. That's why Suncoast Power Solutions is offering a limited-time savings of $1,500 on a brand-new standby generator for your home. For as little as $179 per month, choose from the most trusted names in backup power, Generac and Kohler. Professionally installed by local experts who understand Florida power outages since 1976. And right now, when you call during today's radio show, you'll also receive a no-obligation site inspection plus a free mini generator to help you through your next power outage. No pressure, no risk, just real protection for your home and family. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Call Suncoast Power Solutions now at 813-437-9616. That's 813-437-9616. Now, only 10 of my listeners will get this deal today. Call now, 813-437-9616. Be prepared and stay powered with Suncoast Power Solutions.
I'm taking what they're giving because I'm working for a living.
This is the Check a Pro Radio Show, sponsored by checkapro.com. To find pre-qualified local service providers, click on checkapro.com. Here's your host, the man with a hard hat and tool belt, Jim Klauck.
I hope you're all keeping cool. Woo! Hot, hot, hot. And that's the season we're in. Of course, that's why many of us decided to move here to Florida, Tampa Bay area. If you're not from here, there's a lot of imports. There's just a lot of people here who aren't from here. And I think a lot of them, Brian, have moved down to be with us because it was so cold in the wintertime, but they're like, darn, the summer's hot, isn't it?
Oh, there's a lot. You're absolutely right, Jim. Most people like to go back. I think the perfect world, they like to go back home somewhere up north for the summers and spend the winters down here. And I got to say, I can't blame half of them being born and raised here in Tampa. And it seems like the older I get, the hotter it gets out there. Now, that just could be the obesity of a desk job as well, but it's definitely hot.
I know a lot of people who live in Michigan and New York and Ohio, and they're like, I needed to get out of the doldrums of the winter permanently, because people will come down here on vacation. You know, they come down to Disney or go to the beach or whatever, and they're like, it's pretty nice in February, pretty nice in January. And then they're like, let's move because we're like 60. We're done. We're out. And then they come down and they're like, it's 100 degrees in the shade. Yep. Just go to the beach, though. Not bad. But yeah, it's the way it is. And because of the heat and our proximity to the Gulf, we are in a prime spot for hurricanes and other tropical disturbances. And these are the major events when they come through that take our power out. Our power could be out for a day, could be out for 2 weeks. You don't want to be the person in the neighborhood that doesn't have that. You have to go check into a hotel or find family or friends willing to take you in. Sounds kind of fun, but it's really not after 3 or 4 days. So you really need to have your own standby generator, and that's what we're talking about today. As little as $179 per month. Did I get that right? That's not much money.
No, it's not. Yeah, $179 a month gets you into a smaller generator, but however it will do the necessities. The air condition, like we just discussed, I consider that a necessity. So obviously some units vary in size and starting requirements and everything else. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good entry level price point.
Here's the phone number. Call now to get your free site inspection by a professional site engineer from Suncoast Power Solutions. You're also going to get free a mini portable generator. There's only a handful of these left. As a matter of fact, Jerry, my producer, is giving me some fingers. I'm glad it's multiple fingers. That's a good sign. And he says that there are 7 left. 7 left. The phone number, 813-437-9616. Put your credit cards back in your wallet, put the checkbook back in your junk drawer, and don't worry about going to the ATM for cash. This is absolutely free today. No joke. No. Yep. Absolutely free. Site engineers coming out to do a site inspection, and you'll get a free mini portable generator. 813-437-9616. Brian, I will say to my listeners who've been very loyal to me over the decades, I appreciate you listening, but also I'd appreciate it, so would Brian, serious people only. Like, this is for people who really want to learn more about a generator. In the meantime, you'll have this mini portable generator. Don't waste Brian's time. I know that a lot of you who are listening have thought about getting a generator and just didn't know who to call. That's why I love doing this program, Brian, because now they're introduced to you and Suncoast, and they're like, oh, now I know who to call. I feel comfortable, love the radio station, and I would love to meet someone who I now know, like, and trust. So once again, 813-437-9616. Brian, another question's come in from New Tampa from Patricia. And she says, Brian, we have natural gas at our house, but I know a lot of people around here use propane. Which fuel source is better for a standby generator in the Tampa Bay area, especially when a big storm is coming and we can't get to a gas station? Does it affect how long the generator will run?
Well, thanks for the question, Patricia. And yes, you're exactly right. So the natural gas is a utility. It is free flowing as long as you pay that gas bill. That's what I tell everybody. The gas will continue to flow. If there's any negatives to propane, it's that you're bottled, right? So you're limited to the size of your tank, whether that be 120, 250 gallons, 500 gallons. We like to see everyone with a 500-gallon tank because that will push most generators to, 7 or 8 days. And we believe that you should have power restored by that time, or if not, that gives the liquid petroleum providers enough time to get to you and top off your tank. So both have their pros and cons, but one thing that most people don't know is natural gas, believe it or not, is less volatile as liquid propane. So when you have a generator that's, say, at 22 kW, it's only 22,000 watts on liquid propane. If it's on natural gas, you actually have to derate the generator, so it's only produces about 20 kW, which is still ample, but and I think it's a decent trade-off, right? I mean, you still just to have the free-flowing gas constantly, I think is a big plus in a generator application.
Absolutely. 813-437-9616. Great question. Keep the questions coming in. Brian doesn't mind answering them. Joe, Joe, at checkapro.com. That's CheckAPRO.com. The best way to reach Brian and me here on the radio program. Something I have to mention, and I always mention this because I keep seeing it on the news. We don't spend a lot of time on it, but it is the data centers. There's so much talk about that. Some of them actually are generating their own power, which is a problem for the local communities. Some are not. They're drawing power from the grid. It's causing all kinds of chaos in our communities across the country. It's affecting us here as well in Florida. Another good reason to have a generator is you don't have to worry about what's going to happen with any business making deals with the local government, saying, we want to take the power off the grid. We're a priority. We're going to give so much to the community, so give us what we want. We don't care about the little guy, meaning the homeowner. But as homeowners, we can take control, right, Brian? We can have our own power plant.
We can, and that's another, we call it a personal power plant because that's exactly what it is. You don't have to care anymore. Obviously, it's not to run on a generator is not the most efficient way to energize your house, but for a backup, it's becoming more and more reasonable these days. And it's funny you mentioned the data centers. I was watching the news last night, and currently there's some hearings going on in Lakeland because they're trying to drop a big data center there. And Jim, we've talked about it before. One data center was the equivalent of, what did I tell you, 20 super Walmarts as far as the amount of energy that they consume. I mean, sit back and think about that for a second. Where does that power come from? The generators are just that fail-safe, right? Just that fail-safe that you can have in your home to where, should that data center be in your backyard next, at least you've got a solution for it.
I love this mini Kenny portable generator. That's what you guys call it, named after someone by the name of Ken. That's why it's called the mini Kenny portable generator. And I look at the items included in this. So it's a complete package. It has a solar panel on it, so you can recharge the batteries that are in it. It's got 2 sets of batteries. You can charge your mobile phone and other devices like tablets. It's got a built-in lighting system, AM/FM radio with the weather band. And by the way, if you don't know what the weather band is, everybody, and you should, the weather band is really 24/7, 365 National Weather Service information. It's pretty important information. The government makes sure that this is broadcast on the weather band. So you don't have to, listen to the radio, the standard radio, to get the information. It's just there all the time. So it's really neat radio, AM/FM radio with the weather band. If for some reason the batteries go dead and it's dark, and Henry Ford would love this because this is how he started his cars in the early days, has a crank, hand crank. It's a great machine. I love this thing. Call now, get yours free today. Only a few left. 813-437-9616. When you call, you'll be talking to a lovely person over at Suncoast Power Solutions. They're going to ask you some questions, and they're going to set up an appointment for a free site inspection from a qualified site engineer. 813-437-9616. This is huge because you guys don't charge anything to come out for your time and your expertise. But on top of that, you're leaving a generator. Speaking of a loss, right? You are actually investing in my listeners. Why do you do that?
Well, and to your point, Jim, serious buyers only, because I always tell my team it's only free to the customer. It's an expense to us. We have to put someone in the vehicle. We have to get, pay the in-home specialist to go over there to talk with you, to educate you on the generator. But, we believe and we are passionate on the fact that, this is something that in Florida is becoming more and more of a necessity. Just like air conditions were kind of it was in their early infant stages. You had, started in 1 home, 2 homes, 3 homes. We're now up to over 10,000 generators installed. So to that point, 10,000 people can't be wrong. There's a need there. And alternatively, we're 50 years in business this year. So we know what we're doing. We want you to be protected by a dealer, an installer such as us. We do not use subcontractors. Everything is in-house, from electrical to gas plumbing connection to warranty service, all of that stuff. So we're passionate about it. We want to see you in a generator. We're spending our time, at no cost to you. Just listen to us. Just hear us out. Hear what we have to say. And if there's a solution for you, then we'll happily provide it.
Absolutely no cost. Like I say, I love saying this, put your credit cards back in your wallet and your checkbook back in the junk drawer. That's where I keep mine. I don't use my checkbook much anymore, but, that's where it sits. Here's the phone number, 813-437-9616. Get your free mini portable generator. There's only 5 left. 5 of these little generators left. You've got to call right now. 813-437-9616. We're halfway through the program. When the show ends, all these mini generators will be gone. 813-437-9616. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of your questions about generators right here on Check A Pro Radio. Stand by.
This is Sebastian Gorka. If you're looking for a quality home service provider, log on to checkapro.com. That's checkapro.com.
Jim Klauck, a.k.a. Check A Pro Joe here. Hey, Tampa, when your power goes out, everything stops. Your lights, your AC, your refrigerator, your security. And here in Florida, it's not if the power goes out, it's when. That's why Suncoast Power Solutions is offering a limited time savings of $1,500 on a brand new standby generator for your home. For as little as $179 per month, choose from the most trusted names in backup power, Generac and Kohler. Professionally installed by local experts who understand Florida power outages since 1976. And right now, when you call during today's radio show, you'll also receive a no-obligation site inspection plus a free mini generator to help you through your next power outage. No pressure, no risk, just real protection for your home and family. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Call Suncoast Power Solutions now at 813-437-9616. That's 813-437-9616. Now, only 10 of my listeners will get this deal today. Call now, 813-437-9616. Be prepared. and stay powered with Suncoast Power Solutions.